All right, and we'll get excited for our next person, Will McReynolds.
Are you bored right now?
Yes.
I hope not. That was awesome. My question for you is, what do you do when you aren't bored? You pull out your phone, right? That's what I do, that's what everyone does, and for me it's an unconscious action. It's something that I don't think about, it just happens, and just like anything that is unconscious, it happens a lot more than I think. So I checked, right when I was actually thinking about the final speech for my public speaking class, and I found my times, and there they are. So that week in November I spent 30 hours combined YouTube and Instagram. I thought I was probably around 18 hours, being realistic with myself, and I was kind of ashamed to see it was that much. Because I work full-time, I do school a fair amount of the week, I don't have much time to spare, and yet all my free time goes to just mindless content. So as I was preparing this speech originally, my times lowered. Just because I was thinking about it, it just kind of went down. And then something really funny happened. The class was over, it's winter break, I don't care anymore, and it went right back to where it was. So I checked as I was preparing for this speech, and this is where it was at. We're at about a combined 22 hours, which is better, but that's not where I was at a month after the first one. So I basically reverted right back. And my Instagram usage has sextupled. And the worst is I don't remember anything that I watched. It's like it didn't even happen. I basically just invented a time machine by looking at my phone. But that's what these social media companies want. They want you to keep looking and doing it unconsciously because that is how they make their money. They will make money the more you look at your phone because their model is to harvest your information, sell it to advertisers who will then push their products to you through those same apps so that hopefully you'll give them your money for their product. That's the whole idea. And it was said to me when I was researching for this speech that if it is free, you are the product. That's said to me by Dr. Don Grant. Now he is actually the current president-elect in the American Psychological Association here on the West Coast. And he is the director of healthy device management and media usage at the company that I work for. So when I found out that this was going to be my guy for this speech, I did everything I could to get in contact with him. It took about 1 hour, and I was on a phone call with him, which was shocking. And when I was able to speak with him, he told me that studies have come back that show an inverse relationship towards how much you post and your emotional state. Essentially meaning the more you post, the worse you feel, which may not come as a surprise to many people, but I asked him why, and he confirms that it is due to something called compare and despair. But to better illustrate these studies, I've actually found them for you. It is from The Economist in 2018, so we're missing one very, very prominent app that's come out since then, TikTok. But the trend is pretty standard on every single app here. In every case, we have blue is happy, red is sad, and on every single one, more time spent equals a sadder user. And when I got to ask him further why this was, he told me once again, compare and despair. And compare and despair is a funny thing. Something that happens automatically. And it happens to every human that's in this room and every human outside of this room. It is when you compare yourself to others and despair over yourself. To better understand this is my Instagram profile, and you're going to see 3 attributes of myself on here. I am a nature guy, an artist, and I go to shows. That's it. That's the whole humanity of myself. That's all I am. That's all you know about me. It's a very safe, perfect guy. And that would be so, but this picture right here, this charcoal drawing, that's the last one that was posted. And that was in June of last year. A lot can change for a guy in his 20s in a year. So that's not me that you're looking at. You're not looking at me, you're looking at an image of myself. You're looking at what I want you to see, and more often, an untrue one. Because this is all false. This is all a farce. It's all fake. Which is the goal with Instagram. That's the goal with any social media. I want to show you my best self. This is who I am or who I want you to see. Instagram is a very easy one to show this on because that's pretty much Instagram is look at how cool my life is. Look at all the dope stuff that I do, you know? Look at how funny I am. But every app is like this in their own way because it's all just me trying to show you how perfect my life is for that app. Instagram is easy, good, life is good. Twitter, a little different, life is bad. Life is really bad. Life is bad and life is super funny. Look at how funny and inflammatory I am. Look at that. TikTok, it's all of them. Look at how cool, funny, and terrible my life is. It's all social media is look at me, but look at what I want you to see. Because what you don't see on all this is the countless hours I've spent prepping this speech. You didn't see me driving to work. You didn't see most of my time at all. You're seeing this guy right here and these slides and what my Instagram profile is. It's all what I want you to see. So when you look at this and you see this fake man, you see this fake person, that's who you compare yourself to on all across social media, these fake personalities. But what do you do with this information? Because I basically just told you that you make yourself feel worse if you spend more than 10 minutes on social media, which is pretty much no time at all compared to what most people spend on social media, and you do that by comparing yourself to them. You can quit social media, which is okay, you can do that. You can take a social media detox, which those are good, or you can limit your time. Now, this is a bit of a riskier decision because it's not black and white. So it's very easy to just give up and be like, whatever, I didn't care anyway. But luckily we have some assistance. So if we can utilize some that are actually pre-installed on our phones. For iOS devices, we have app limits, which is built into the settings. And for Android, we have digital well-being. These are both pre-installed on all new devices and allow you to do something very cool, which is to set individual limits for apps, for whatever app you want. You can do it for the settings app, I don't care. But you can personalize it. Mine for Instagram is like 40 minutes. It's above that 10-minute mark, but I can't hold myself to that 10 minutes. I've tried it, I give up, and it doesn't work. And then I spend 40 hours a week. So you can personalize it, that's it. That's all you gotta do. That's it, you're done, you know. See you guys. But there is a second one. There's a second step. It's a little bit more difficult. It's actually a lot more difficult. It's super challenging. It's something I know you don't want to do because you've been avoiding it your entire life since you were a baby. And that's everyone in this room. That is to embrace boredom. Because boredom is going to be inherent with less time spent on these apps. It's an inevitability. You're going to be bored, you're going to feel it, but boredom is not a bad thing. Boredom can actually be a healthy mechanism of the brain. Now, in the article, Why Neuroscientists Say Boredom is Good for Your Brain's Health, the author Brian Robinson states that boredom can actually amp up your creativity, task engagement, and job productivity. But why? Why can it do this? It is because our brains need to be still, not constantly entertained. The research of psychologist Jonathan Smallwood confirms that a silent mind is the key to creativity. Focusing only on information output will eventually cause burnout and prevent the brain from functioning properly. Think about your phone. It's the last thing you do every night. Absolute last. Charge it. Because if you don't, tomorrow's done. It's over. You wake up, you're at 17% at best, or dead. Some days you wake up, it's 34, you can kind of work with that, but it's a bad day. And it's gonna be bad. So we always make sure we put it on the charger, because if not, we already know what's gonna happen. And are we not the same as human beings? Do we not need a break? Sleep can be that break, but it's not enough, because if you wake up and the first thing you do is check your media, your entertainment to see what everyone else is doing or see what's funny today, your brain is focused on taking in information, giving information. There's no break, there's no step away from it. That is what leads to seeing that one post from 3 years ago that you saw last week again, when you saw today again. It's not funny anymore, but you know it by heart because you've seen it so many times. That's burnout. Burnout is continuing to use these apps, not knowing how you spent 4 hours scrolling TikTok when you just wanted to watch one video. That's what is burnout. And silence is the answer to prevent this burnout. Because if we just allow ourselves to just go into these apps and not allow ourselves a break, that's all we're going to get is the same thing we get all the time. No time for some reason, staying up late, binging social media stuff. What comes without that is us experiencing new things, us experiencing new ideas and experiences in themselves, because we don't have the cure right here. This is the cure for boredom. This is the cure for that silence. And if we don't use this, our brains have to start figuring out what to do with our time, what they were already supposed to do before this was even an option. They will start coming up with new ideas, and from those ideas we get new experiences. Silence is a seed from which all new ideas and experiences sprout. And if we don't even plant that seed, they won't even happen. We're just going to be doing this. Social media is not the problem. It's our relationship with it. We compare ourselves to others and feel worse about ourselves. We allow them to profit off of our information, not even caring, because it's so rampant. We have recourse to use app limits or digital well-being and set individual limits. And above all else, embrace boredom. Embrace it as the silence of our mind to allow us to have these new experiences, these new ideas. Embrace it as the seed from which these will come from. Author Wayne Dyer said it best, summarized the beauty of silence. Everything that's created comes out of silence. Words come out of the void. Your very essence emerged from emptiness. All creativity requires some stillness. Thank you.